Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every person's life when you realize that your financial future is not controlled by the numbers in your bank account, but by the words coming out of your mouth. You may look at your balance today and see limits, but I want you to understand something. Your bank account is not your master, your words are. For too long, many have allowed fear, worry, and limitation to dictate what they believe is possible. But today, I want you to rise up with a different attitude. Today, I want you to look at your finances not with anxiety, but with authority. Because the truth is this: your money listens to your voice. Your circumstances respond to your confession. Your words are more powerful than you realize. Every sentence you speak is a seed, and every seed carries within it the potential to shape your financial future. Most people go through life speaking carelessly, unaware that their language is constantly planting something, either a harvest of abundance or a harvest of lack. When you speak doubt, when you speak fear, when you continually repeat phrases like, "I'm always broke," "money is hard to come by," or "my finances never improve," you are not just describing your situation, you are reinforcing it. You are giving life and strength to the very conditions you wish would change. But when you choose to speak the language of faith, when you speak increase, when you declare provision, you begin to shift the atmosphere around your finances. Your words start working for you instead of against you. Every declaration becomes a seed planted in the soil of your future. And just like any seed, it may not sprout immediately, but it begins working beneath the surface the moment it's spoken. People often underestimate the spiritual law of confession. They think words are just sounds, just expressions of emotion. But words are spiritual containers. They carry power, direction, and purpose. They don't disappear into the air when they leave your mouth. They begin forming the very environment you will one day live in. You can't plant seeds of poverty with your speech and expect to reap abundance. A negative harvest cannot come from a positive confession, and a positive harvest cannot come from a negative confession. Your words set the tone for what your finances will respond to. Every time you speak, you give your money an assignment. You give your bank account instructions. If those instructions are full of fear, limitation, and doubt, then your finances will remain restricted. But when your instructions are filled with faith, expectation, and boldness, something begins to shift. Something begins to open. Heaven responds to faith-filled words. Increase responds to confident declarations. Prosperity is attracted to the voice that refuses to speak defeat. Think about the seeds a farmer plants. He doesn't go out into a field, throw seeds into the ground, and then walk away, saying, "Well, I hope something grows, but probably nothing will." No. He plants intentionally. He waters intentionally. He protects intentionally. And he expects a harvest. Your words must work the same way. You can't speak faith one moment and fear the next. You can't declare abundance today and then complain about lack tomorrow. That's like a farmer planting seeds one day and digging them up the next. Consistency is what produces a harvest. If you want your financial life to change, your vocabulary has to change first. You have to train your mouth to speak on purpose. You have to choose words that align with the future you desire, not the situation you're trying to escape. Begin to declare things like, "My finances are increasing. Provision is flowing toward me. I walk in overflow, not shortage. Doors of opportunity are opening for me. Unexpected blessings come my way." These are not just positive statements, they are spiritual seeds. They go into your future and begin shaping what you will eventually experience. Confession is not about denying your current reality. It's about choosing a superior truth over the temporary facts. Lack may be present today, but abundance is your destiny. Debt may be staring at you now, but freedom is what you were made for. Struggle may surround you, but increase is your inheritance. And the bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built by the words you choose to speak daily. The most important thing to understand is this: Your words show heaven what you believe. Your confession reveals your expectation. If all you speak is survival, then survival is all you will see. But if you speak abundance, if you speak overflow, if you speak growth, then heaven begins aligning circumstances, opportunities, and blessings that match what's coming out of your mouth. Your words set things in motion. They call things forth. They pull provision from the unseen into the seen. You must begin to treat your mouth like a steering wheel. Wherever your words turn, your life will follow. If you turn toward limitation, your life shrinks. If you turn toward increase, your life expands. If you turn toward fear, doors close. If you turn toward faith, doors open. Your words are seeds. They do not vanish. They do not evaporate. They work. They build. They create. Speak intentionally. Speak boldly. Speak faithfully. And let your financial future rise to the level of your confession. God's provision does not move because of worry, stress, or fear. It moves because of bold, faith-filled confession. Many people pray for financial breakthrough, but the moment they finish praying, they speak doubt with their next sentence. They cancel with their mouth what they ask for with their prayer. They beg God for increase, but then they look at their situation and declare, "I don't know how I'm going to make it," or "Things never work out for me." They pray with hope, but speak with defeat. And when your confession contradicts your prayer, your confession always wins. Why? Because your words reveal your true expectation. Provision responds to faith, real, solid, unwavering faith. Not the kind of faith that whispers, "I hope so," but the kind that declares, "I know so." Faith that stands tall, even when nothing around you looks like breakthrough. Faith that chooses to believe the promise above the problem. Faith that refuses to bow to discouragement. When you open your mouth and speak the promises of God with confidence, you are giving heaven something to work with. You are activating spiritual laws that override natural limitations. You are aligning your life with divine abundance. God's provision is always ready, always flowing, always available, but it is your confession that opens the door for it to reach you. Many people think that speaking in faith is just wishful thinking. But real confession is not wishing, it is agreement. When you speak what God has already said, you are agreeing with His intention for your life. You are aligning your voice with His word, and the moment you do that, your words carry authority. Your mouth becomes an instrument of heaven. You are no longer speaking as someone trying to get God to move. You are speaking as someone who knows God has already moved and simply needs to receive it. Bold confession is an act of trust. When you declare increase while staring at a nearly empty account, you are telling God that your faith is not tied to your circumstances. When you declare provision while bills pile up, you are showing heaven that you believe God is bigger than your needs. When you speak abundance while walking through pressure, you are proving that your foundation is not your bank account, it is the Word of God. God responds to that kind of faith. Scripture again and again shows moments where people spoke boldly, acted boldly, believed boldly, and heaven moved immediately in their direction. Bold confession creates an atmosphere where miracles can manifest. Fear chokes blessings, but faith releases them. Your confession is your spiritual signature. It tells heaven what you are willing to receive. It signals your readiness. It shows that you are not praying from a place of desperation, but from a place of expectation. And expectation is the breeding ground for supernatural provision. Many people want breakthrough, but hold back their confession because they feel unworthy, or they think their situation is too big, or they fear looking foolish if nothing changes. But hear this clearly. God does not respond to hesitation. He responds to boldness. The moment you dare to speak with authority, despite how things appear, something begins shifting in the unseen realm. Angels respond to faith-filled words. Opportunities begin forming. Resources start aligning. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to unlock. God's provision is voice activated. It is depth confession activated. You don't wait for the breakthrough to start speaking. You speak, and then the breakthrough comes. The world says, I'll believe it when I see it. Faith says, I'll see it because I believe it. Your words pull the promise into your reality. Bold confession also reshapes your internal world. Before external finances change, internal belief must change. When you repeatedly speak abundance, your mindset shifts, your confidence strengthens, your fear weakens, your actions align with your declarations. You start seeing possibilities instead of limitations. You start expecting doors instead of walls. You start recognizing opportunities that were invisible to you when fear clouded your vision. Provision doesn't only respond to your confession, you do. Speaking in faith transforms you from the inside out. It builds a financial identity rooted in strength, not struggle. It awakens creativity, boldness, ideas, resilience, and direction. When you speak abundance, you begin thinking abundantly. And when you think abundantly, you begin living abundantly. But remember this, timid confession produces timid results. Half-hearted words produce half-hearted outcomes. If you want to see the fullness of God's provision, you must speak with the fullness of your faith. Speak with fire in your spirit. Speak with conviction in your voice. Speak with the confidence of someone who knows that heaven backs every word aligned with the promises of God. Provision listens to boldness. Breakthrough responds to confidence. Increase follows authority. Your finances will rise to the level of your confession, so speak like someone who expects heaven to move, because heaven moves the moment faith speaks. Most people look at their bank account and let it control their emotions. If the number is low, they feel fear. If the number is shrinking, they feel panic. If the number isn't where they hoped it would be, they feel defeated. But the truth is this: your bank account is not meant to be your master, it's meant to be your servant. And servants don't speak, servants listen. Your finances were never designed to dictate your future, they were designed to respond to your voice. You must learn to stop speaking about your bank account and start speaking to it. There is a difference. When you talk about it, you describe it. When you talk to it, you command it. And anything you command must obey the authority behind your words. People speak to sickness, they speak to fear, they speak to storms in their life, but when it comes to their money, they stay silent. They let numbers intimidate them instead of letting their faith instruct them. Your bank account has ears, not physical ears, but spiritual ears. Your finances are not random. They respond to the atmosphere you create with your words. If your words constantly criticize, complain, or confess defeat, then your finances remain bound under that negative environment. If your words are filled with faith, authority, and expectation, then your finances rise to meet that environment. Think for a moment about the way people react to negative numbers. They sigh, panic, speak discouragement, and declare hopelessness. Those reactions do not just express emotions, they reinforce conditions. Fear locks your finances in place. Worry closes doors. Anxiety chokes opportunity. But faith unlocks, opens, and releases. If fear builds walls, faith tears them down. If fear paralyzes, confession activates. When you stand over your finances and declare, "Bank account, listen to me. I speak increase, not decrease. I command overflow, not shortage. I declare opportunity, not limitation," something begins to shift. You are not begging for change, you are commanding alignment. You are not hoping for provision, you are speaking it into motion. Some might think talking to a bank account is strange, but faith has always looked strange to the natural mind. Speaking to mountains, speaking to storms, speaking to dry bones, none of that makes sense logically. But spiritually, it is how authority works, and your finances are no different. They follow the same spiritual law. What you speak in faith must respond. Your voice carries power, not because of who you are, but because of who backs you. Your words carry authority because they are rooted in divine truth, not human fear. You are not speaking from weakness, you are speaking from spiritual strength. Your words are not empty, they are charged with faith that can move obstacles, break limitations, and create new streams of financial blessing. When you speak to your bank account with authority, it does something deep inside you as well. It breaks the mindset of